Hey everyone, my name is Tony and welcome back to another video. Today we are expanding on our kitchen modeling series. This time we're doing something a little more challenging, where we start from scratch as we go through a pretty solid modeling workflow. Let's dive in. So this is our floor plan and reference image to this model. We're going to follow a very simple workflow to go from start to finish in modeling this kitchen. And we're going to start off by importing our floor plan. The way you can do this, you could drag and drop the image onto your plan. Make sure it has a dimension that you can reference. I'm going to press X as a shortcut to explode again, and Control G to group. So we'll go into the group, and actually I'm going to draw a line from this point to the next to use it as a reference. And we'll use the tape measuring tool to scale this image. So I'll press T, reference our line, and now I'm going to type in the real dimension, which is 3 feet 4 inches. Once I hit Control, it will ask me to resize and simply confirm, and now we have the true size of this floor plan. So first thing, I'm going to create a couple of tags. We'll have one specifically for the walls, have one for the corners, and for whatever else we'll need, we'll eventually create more tags. So I'm going to make the walls current. And now I'm going to use the line tool by pressing the L shortcut, and we're going to trace around the walls. Once we have this, press O to offset this. Let's say I'll just do 8 inches. Control group, and now we have our walls. Before we extrude, I'm going to subtract my windows. So with the rectangle tool, I'm going to trace around the window openings, which we only have 3. If you want to be as accurate to the dimensions, you can, as I'm doing this for demonstration. And with the eraser tool, I'm going to press E shortcut. I can now trim those away. So we end up with something like this. And now we can pull this up. So I'm gonna press P for my shortcut. And typical height may be 8 feet. And that gives us something like this. To repeat that same command, I'm going to double click to these faces. So now we have something like this. Now with that same workflow, we're going to create our floor. So first, we're going to make a layer. Make sure it's current. And I'm actually going to trace around the perimeter again. Should have copied one from the previous step, but that's okay. We'll give this a thickness of maybe 10 inches. I'm going to group this. And we'll bring it down to the very bottom. Going to the group. And more or less we can try to eyeball it. That's going to be the line right there. So we can divide that like this. So now we have 2 separate faces for 2 separate materials later on. And instead of actually modeling the windows, we're going to save the bulk of the work for adding details to the kitchen. So I'll go into the 3D warehouse and grab something that fits our model. And instead of changing the window, I'm going to expand the wall. That way it lines up to that material there. Now, how can we quickly bring this window to fit that entire panel? That can actually be done with SketchPlus. And we have one of my favorite features, which is deep stretch. This allows us to move and stretch objects in nested groups. So first things first, we're going to find the midpoint. So I'll just draw a line here as reference, activate deep stretch. Now I'm going to make a selection here and simply click and bring that over. As you can see, I didn't have to go into the group and move all of this at once. I could do that from the outside. And now to fit this into the midpoint, and again, select deep stretch, select my edges, and now reference that midpoint. I can hold Shift to lock on inferencing, and now I can lock that. Now we can lock that in the midpoint. And we'll just repeat the same to bring this up to the very top. So that's how you can quickly bring in a model from the 3D warehouse and stretch it using deep stretch. And to get this tool, the links for SketchPlus will be in the description. So next, we're going to block out the lower and upper cabinets based on our reference. As always, we're going to create a new layer, make it current, and now we can start to model. First, let's use the line tool to draw some reference lines. We'll just make this into a rectangle and make it a component. So my shortcut is Ctrl-Shift-G. So in terms of height, we're going to push-pull this by 30 inches. Next, I'll add a 4-inch toe kick and push-pull it 1 inch back. And next, I'm just going to copy, paste in place, give it a 1-inch thickness, and this will become our cabinet door. So now that we have one full cabinet, simply make other copies across our wall. Next, we got a full height cabinet. I'm going to copy this, make unique. Now we can change the height. We'll make this into unique and bring this up as well. So next we have upper cabinets. We're going to copy. For the upper cabinets, we're going to move 4 of these cabinets up and then give it a 24-inch gap. We're going to right click and make them all unique. So I'm going to select the 2 end components, right click and make unique again. And I'm going to do a little bit of cleanup to simplify the shape. So I'll delete a couple of lines. So these 2 are the same. I'm simply going to mirror this to the other side using the mirror tool and hold Control to make another copy. In reality, the upper cabinets are not the same depth as the lower cabinets. Maybe we can push-pull this back by 6 inches. Repeat the same with the others. And now I can bring these up to full height. So push-pull these to match the height. Now the end upper cabinets have a little bevel to it. So I'm going to select my edge, activate bevel, click once, and now we can add that. Now we can create a radius. I'm not gonna go all the way. I'm gonna stay somewhere around a foot, home on 20 segments, and we'll end up with something like that. Once again, to get bevel, make sure to check the links in the description. Now, if we check the reference, there's actually a division on the upper cabinets, and because these are all components, we can simply push-pull it down to half the height, and then copy that entire group above. So we end up with something like this. So for the island, we're going to follow the same workflow as the upper cabinets. We're going to draw out the island outline and then block out the base components. And we'll use bevel to add curve to the end components. We're also going to repeat the same to the counter and follow the outline on the floor plan as much as possible. So now we can select all these 4 corner edges, activate bevel, and repeat that last command. So we get a nice overhang of our countertop over our island. And next we'll pull these in 15 inches. So these 2 chairs can fit right in. We'll move these up 4 inches with a toe kick. We'll do the same here. So here's, I'm going to offset this by 1 inch and push pull by 4 inches. I'm going to close the loop with the line tool. And we'll push pull this down to the floor. So we get something like this. We'll repeat the same on the inner side of those cabinets, push pull by 1 inch, and we'll repeat the same on the outside. To match the detail and make it seamless, I'll do the same for those end cabinets, and we'll end up with something like this. So let's start off by adding a counter. This is going to be a simple rectangle. I'm going to push pull this up 2 inches and then turn it into a group. Let's also select a couple of these cabinets and make them unique. And now we can add some drawers. So I'm going to copy this line and divide it by 3 And I'm going to extrude a rectangle centered on those lines to create a separation and create 3 drawers. And then we're going to offset these a little bit in just to give it a bit of a gap, maybe 1/4 of an inch. And we'll do the same to the other side. So this becomes 1/2 inch. We'll have something like this. And to make details even more high quality, we're going to use Bevel to round those edges. Once again, Bevel allows you to add chamfer to your models. It's an extremely simple extension. Select my entire shape. We can see a little bit of a preview. And now we can add a radius and a segment. So this is going to be, again, very small, 1/8 of an inch with 4 segments. And we get something like this. As always, the link for Bevel is in the description. So once again, let's repeat those details here as well. So let's add the same 1/4 inch gap between the upper cabinets to create a separation. And we'll use Bevel to add round corner to the objects. So activate Bevel, and this time simply double click to use the last command. This really helps to keep everything consistent. So we're going to repeat that here. And we'll end up with something like this. So to make things simple, we're going to repeat these same steps to the island, the countertops, and the outside drawers. And that should reflect on this side over here. And once you go through this step, you should end up with something like this. Now this is starting to look much better, but this is pretty good for us to move on. And from here, we can start to add materials. So to get good high quality textures, you can head over to SketchUpTextures.com. Likely one of the best websites to get textures for your models. So make sure to hop on there and get what you need. So this is our reference, and we'll try our best to match as close to this as possible. So one of the fastest way to drop textures in is to simply drag and drop. So I'm going to drop in my floor texture. So let me show you how I can quickly size this texture. I'm going to press X to explode. That's my shortcut. And group once again. Now we go inside that group and we'll draw a reference line. So for example, this seems to be pretty obvious. So now I'm going to press T for the tape measure, and I'm going to reference this line. 3/4 is pretty close, but we'll do 4.5 inches, which you can say yes, pretty close to life size. So now we can just sample using the bucket tool. We can go inside our floor group and apply that material. And we can repeat the same for this portion of the floor. We'll end up with something like this. We'll bring in the texture for the counter. Let's repeat the same for the counter and bring in a marble. So brought in the marble, scaled it. Now we can have a sample. Now we can apply to our table, countertop, as well as back here. Scale it so it's bigger. And then sample the material again. Let me just move this out the way. Bring the material in, that's much better. And we'll also reapply that here. Once again, right click, texture, position, and rotate 90 degrees. So now let's bring in the wood, repeating the same workflow. Start material with the wood, and we'll add some solid colors to the rest of the model. Something that matches the tone of the other colors. So for example here. So that's pretty much it. And once we added all of the textures, we end up with something like this. So not too bad. So from here, we can start to bring in textures, but first let's add our sink using double cut. So I've brought in a sink from the 3D warehouse and positioned it where I want on top of my counter. And I'm going to use double cut to create a component that adds an automatic or dynamic opening to whatever surface it touches. And in order to do this, you need 2 things. Obviously your group, which is what I have here. And next thing, a polyline that's going to serve as the opening. In my case, I copied the outside edge of my sink, and these 2 need to be together like this. This is double cut. It's a very simple extension. You want to make sure this is enabled so the feature works perfectly when we create our component. And the next step is going to be select both and make a component. Now from here, you can set everything else as is. We're going to enable cut opening, and we're going to set the component axis because this is very important. So here is what you need to remember. We're going to set our first click to set the axis position. Next, we're going to set the red axis, and that's going to be along the length of our sink. The green axis is going to be on the depth, and leaving the blue one as the vertical. So we're going to create. As you can see, you get this message that the cutting component is not glued to any surface. And the moment we do that, you can see that it will create an opening on our kitchen counter. And anytime we move this component, that opening will follow along with it, which is a very smart way to model in SketchUp. As always, link for double cut will be in the description. And while we're bringing things in from the 3D warehouse, let's also bring in the stove top that can be on the island. As always, delete anything that comes into that component. And now we can just start to add some final details to our model so we can bring everything to a close. So let's bring in some extra models and some props to add a little bit of decoration to the space. Bring in an espresso/coffee machine. This entire time we actually forgot to add our ceiling, so let's quickly do that. As always, ceiling is a very simple thing to add. If anything, this can actually be our view. It actually makes sense for this to be on to the other side, so let's quickly shift that using some basic commands. So to bring our model to a finish, let's bring in a curtain from the 3D warehouse. Let's also add the pendant lights that match the color tone. We'll bring in some bar stools, and we'll bring a little vase for decor. And all of these were simply grabbed from the 3D warehouse. And if you followed along, you should finish with the model like this. So hopefully these tips helped. You guys seem to really enjoy these follow along videos. So make sure to like, share, and leave a comment down below. Let me know what you liked and what you'd like to see in the following video. And that's gonna be all for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed all of those tips along with a pretty beginner to intermediate workflow. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to check the first video in this series. There'll be a link in the description as well as on the corner of the screen. So don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.